The SummerSlam begins back on June 15th from the Freeman Coliseum in San Antonio on Raw's War. Kane and Mankind win a 10-team battle royal to become the number one contenders for the tag team championships. The other teams in this match were Terry Funk and Scorpio, the new Midnight Express of Bart Gunn and Bob Holly, the Headbangers, Golga and Kurgan, Skull and 8-Ball, Brian Christopher and Scott Taylor, the Legion of Doom, Taka Michinoku and Bradshaw, and Farouk and Steve Blackman. Just months before, you had worked with Mick as part of Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie, and now this is the next direction. Are you excited about going into this program with Kane and Mankind?
Yeah, for sure. But more importantly, like those last two teams you mentioned, like Farouk and Steve Blackman and
then Taka
Michinoku and Bradshaw. Like what in the world? Where did those two teams come from? But yeah, I was excited because look, though we were not the tag champs at this time, correct?
You are the tag team champs, and this is
this thing is to find out the number one contender. Correct. I apologize. So yeah, look, I knew we were going to get to work with those guys. I always was a big fan of Kane. Worked with Glenn in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Worked with him before we got to the big leagues. So knew him very well. Also had worked with Mick. So very excited about the next venture. But look, they're also hugely important top guys that we're getting to rub elbows with as a tag team. And so that, to me, we're going to get into some questions, specific questions about that on this podcast. But that, to me, elevated the tag titles, and we'll cover more of that as we go forward.
Just a few weeks later, on July 13th, the show features the return of Shawn Michaels for the first time since WrestleMania. What was it like seeing Shawn again?
Well, it's always great seeing Shawn. Look, I've developed a great relationship with Shawn that to this day is really special. And to that day was really special too, but it was just Shawn was back, you know what I mean? But anytime Shawn comes back, is he going to do anything with DX now? And if so, we know it's going to be positioned in a positive light on television. And so really it was welcoming back my friend, and also, in the immortal words of Scott Hall, welcoming back my meal ticket. You know, and so he was a meal ticket. He was, and you know, now we're both older men with families and stuff, and so we've developed a much deeper relationship. But it was always good to see Shawn come back. You know, I just didn't know at this point what capacity he was coming back at.
In general, does the backstage atmosphere change when a giant star returns?
Well, especially if you're near that top tier, you're definitely going, okay, is this the one that bumps me off of TV, or is this the one that bumps me out of a cool storyline? And so it's kind of a professional jealousy, you know what I mean? Especially of a big star like Shawn. He comes back, you go like, oh, okay, what are we going to do here? But I knew as long as he was quasi associated with DX, or at least on their side, that everything was going to be okay.